Yeah. So hello guys. This is Shrey Sharma from Coded Down, and I'm C++ trainee. So we'll start today with one more data structure. Yeah. So we'll be starting with queues. So like you guys have already seen stacks and arrays and all. So this is again a special data structure which has like some following properties. So in queues, what we have is like you might have seen like queues of peoples around. Okay, like this is uh, some billing counter, you can say. Okay, this is what I'm drawing. Okay, and like we have queue of people around it. So similarly in this data structure, what happens is like if let you please consider these guys as the data which we want to manipulate or which we want to deal with. So the this data which is like present in the front, okay, this guy is in the front of the queue. Okay, so this guy will be dealt with first, or you can say this guy will be the one which will be popped out first. Like you guys might have seen pop function in stacks also. Okay, so like in stacks, the data which was to be popped out, like this was a stack. So the data which was popped out was the data which was present at the top. Okay, in this queue the data will be which will be popped out will be the data at the front. Okay, as you have seen like stack, we can operate it from the one side only. Okay, it was open from one end only, but in queues what it happens is queue is open from both the ends. Okay, like uh, okay, so queues are like real life examples. Okay, you have seen this thing. So these are open from both the ends, and one of the end is called the front end, and like other is called the rear end. So we will always push data from the rear end. Okay, and we will always pop out the data from the you can say front end. This front end you can like think of it like queues in real life, when the person at the front of the queue will be getting his things, or you can say getting the movie ticket, will be he will be the first to get out of that queue. And if we will be joining that queue, then we will join that queue from the last. Okay, so like if I want to push 4 into this queue, so 4 will be pushed like this. Okay, so this is the front end, this is the rear end. Okay, so this is like the terminology. Now let us write some code to see this thing working. Okay, yeah. So as I've written a small code here which deals with like how to declare a queue. Okay, we have STL and C++ named as obviously queue, and I have named my queue. I have like stored integers in my queue, and I have named it as R. So this function, this push function, allows me to push 10 into the this queue. Then I have pushed 20, 30, 40, and then I'm performing this pop function. So let us write this out, how this thing will be looking like, how this queue will be looking like. So queue will have 10 in its front part. Okay, then 20, then 30, and then 40. So when I do the popping operation, when I just a minute, yeah, so this is the front end, this is the rear end. So when I'll be doing the popping operation, I'll be popping from the start. Okay, so this will be something looking like this. Now if I want to like, we have one more function in our queues which is front function. Okay, yeah. So this is our front function, and it will print the data present in the front of the queue. Yeah, so it will present the like it will print out the data at the front of the queue. So let's run it. I think it will print 20 here in this case. Yeah, So we are getting 20 as our output. So this is somewhat like a basic introduction. Now what we must be dealing with this, we will be like making 2 or 3 functions in queues which will be helping out you in like future while dealing with trees and all, you know, traversing trees and also there it will be helpful. So that's why we want to discuss queues. So first of all we'll be we'll be trying to write the print function. Okay, so like print function, I'll be passing my queue to it. So it will be a, you can say a void function. So like void print, and I'm trying to, yeah, I'm trying to pass my queue, but I'll be passing it without reference. Okay, I'll passing it by value just. Okay, yeah. So just like we did in stacks, we'll be printing out the element, and as soon as we'll be popping the element also. Select r dot pop here, and then a end line character. So yeah, so this is like the print function will look like, and how will it work is, you can say, let's just try to run this out. I think it will be printing first the, okay, just a second. Yeah, so it will be printing 21st because at the front, okay, it is saying that while r does not become empty. Okay, we have another function here, r dot empty. Okay, so this empty function returns true when the queue will become empty and false when it isn't. So we'll print out the front. Okay, we are printing out the front, and then what we are doing is, after we printed out, so like what our output will be like, first it will print 20, yeah, and then after the prop function, this 20 will be gone. Now in the front 30 is there. Okay, so it will print 30 after a space, and again it has to pop, so 30 will be popped out, and then it will print 40 because 40 will now be in the front, and just after that it will pop this out. So now our like queue has become empty, so it will come out of this loop, and then we'll print the end line character. So let us see like what is the output of this. Okay, I just printed here 20 before, so that is why. Yeah, so I think this must be clear. Okay, like, yeah, so I think this must be clear. Like it is printing r dot front 20 at first, and then which I, so one more thing to note is like I'm not passing by reference. So like here if I will check like if my queue will be empty, it won't be empty because I passed here by value, so it won't be affecting my original queue out here. Okay, so that is the thing. One more function like we would like to write is, let's say we want to reverse our array. Okay, sorry, reverse our, yeah, just 1 minute. So like if we want to reverse our queue, so like how we can do this. Okay, so for doing this, I think we must revise what we have done. Like in the past, we have studied stacks. So we'll be using the property of stacks to reverse things. Okay, let me just show it how this will be working. So like, here I have 20, 30, and 40, and let's say I have this empty stack here. So what I'll be doing is, okay, let me just mark it. This is the front, and this part is the rear. Okay, and this is my stack. Yeah. So what I'll be doing is, I'll be taking out the element from the front. Okay, I'll be popping it simply, which I like did last time. So let's say I popped it from here, and I like stored it in. Yeah, so I'm taking this thing and I'm storing it in stack. Okay, then I'm again popping it from here and store this in stack, and I will repeat this process until my queue will become empty. So now what I'll be doing is, now I will pop this from my popping data from my stack and pushing that data into my queue. So it will be like data will be put from the queue, sorry, the rear side in the queue now. So 40 will be, I push 40 like at first place, and after that I popped it from here and push 30, and then I pop 20 from here and like push it here. Okay, so like this is the way we can do this. So let's just write out the function. Yeah, so I pass my this I like pass my queue here. So one thing which you must note is, like I have to change my array. No, I have to reverse it out. So I have to pass it by like, so like I have to pass it by reference. Okay, so I'll be putting this mark here in this. Now what should I do is, like as we discussed, I will making a stack, and like while my this queue won't become empty, I'll be repeating this process. And so like what I'll be doing is, I'll be storing the front element. Okay, like I explained before, I'll be storing the front element, and then I'll be popping it out, and after that pushing it into the, okay, I'll be pushing P, okay, into the stack. Okay, so I'll be doing it until my queue becomes empty. Now what I'll do is, I'll repeat now the process. Sorry, just a minute. Yeah. So while my stack will become empty, I'll repeat this process. But what I'll be doing is, I'll be pushing out. I think this step must be clear. Like what is at the top of S stack, I'll be pushing it out. I'll be pushing it in the queue. Okay. Then what I'll be doing is popping the stack away, popping the element from the stack away. So I'll be doing it until my stack becomes empty, and then I'll be getting my like reverse. You can say like queue. Okay. So this is the way like we can do this, and so this is the just like one way, but we can have like another way, that is like by recursion. Okay, so that is also like worth discussing. So let me just name it out as, okay, let's just see. Okay, we didn't use the print function yet. Yeah. So as you guys can see, the print function here, this is printing the normal q out there, and after we reversed it, it is just printing our reversed array. Okay, I think till now it is clear. Okay, so let us move on to the, you can say this is a recursive function for reversing this array. Uh, so this will again be a void function, and like again I have to pass it by reference as like discussed already. So what I'll be doing is, okay, now let's say I need to explain this. So like my uh, queue is, you can consider it like 1 2 3 4. Okay, and this is like my front part, and this is like my rear part. So what I'll be doing is, I'll be storing this f in, like you can say, some variable p. Okay, you can take it. So in p I'm storing this element at the front, which is 1, and now my remaining queue is just 2 3 and 4. Okay, because I will pop it out also. Okay, I will pop it from the queue and I will store it some variable, and then with this remaining queue, okay, now this is the like my f. Yeah, like this is now my f and this is now my r. So now with this like remaining queue, I will again pass it to the function reverse 1. Okay, I will pass this queue, remaining queue, to reverse 1, and I'm considering that this reverse 1 will like genuinely reverse my queue, and let's say it reverses my queue. So now my queue will look something like this. Okay, 432. Now my f is like here and my r is like here. Let us consider that now my reverse 1 will reverse my queue. So now with this remaining p, what should I do is, I should push it here. Okay, I should push it at the rear, which is like the push function only. So what I'll do is, I will make it 4 3 2 1, isn't it? From like 4 3 2, I will push p into it and it will become 4 3 2 1. So when I'll pass reverse 1 to 2 3 4, then again the same thing will happen. This will like demarcate into 2 and 3 4, and I will consider that 4 3 will be reversed. So 4 3 after reversing will give me 4 3, and I will pushing 2 here. Okay, but again I have passed 3 4 to my reverse 1 function, no? So this will again demarcate into like two values. Okay, this isn't like array, sorry, this arrow. Okay, yeah, so this will again demarcate into two things like 3 and 4. 4 I will be passing to my reverse 1 function, and after 4 will get reversed, I will push 3 into its back, thus like giving out 4 3. Okay, so I will put like a base condition. Okay, again this will be passed like what will happen is, 4 will be there, and now an empty, you can say, this is an empty queue. So I will put a base condition, then whenever there is an empty queue, you will return it as it is. Okay, or like you may do nothing, because I will return this thing only, then it will push 4 into it. Okay, into this empty thing. So this thing will return 4. Okay, and now to this 4, this 3 will be popped behind. So now this 3 4 function with reverse 1 will return me this 4 3 part, and to this I will push 2 again. So this will be returning, so this 2 3 4 with reverse 1 will be returning 4 3 2, and to this I will push 1 and I will be getting my reversed array. Okay, so like this is the you can say like plot of like doing this. So let me just write out the function, and if you have like any query, we'll discuss it out then. So shall I clear these drawings or not, like for a reference during the code? Okay, let it be. Let us just write the code. So like I said, I'll be storing the element at the front, and then I'll be popping this out. So like I said, I will again pass like this. In this case, we had 1 as my p, and I will again pass it to reverse one function in hope that it will reverse the remaining array, sorry, remaining q. So now my R here will not consist of 1 but just 2 3 4. So in hope of like it will convert my 2 3 4 into 4 3 2, I am giving it to reverse one function. I'm passing it to reverse one function, and at the end what I'll be doing is like I'll be pushing p into it, like at the rear. But like one more thing, if this R will be empty, no, like in the last case we discussed like here. So if this R will be empty, so we must like put base case also. So like that will be if R dot empty. Yeah. So if like R dot empty, then we must tell the function to do nothing. Okay, it must do like nothing. So this empty queue will remain empty in the, like you can say, last iteration. The function will say return, which is like nothing because it is a void function. So function will say return do nothing over here. Okay, so that it is like, and let us just see if this is working. Yeah, so like we had 20 30 40 here, and then we reverse it to obtain 40 30 20, and then again like again reverse to 20 30 40. So like you guys can also check it out what happens. So one more thing I would like to discuss, and like if you guys say, I will be writing the code for that. So which is like how can we like make queues with the help of linked list. Okay, so like what we can do is, okay, let me erase it out. Yeah, so at first, like if our queue is empty, okay, so we have nothing. Like in linked list also we had like null, you can say. Okay, so initially we have just null. Okay, I think you will be able to write this code, and if not, you can like find it on the coded down app, I think, in the season 1. You know, if you are not able to find something in season 2, there are corresponding codes in season 1 also. So yeah, so initially we had null. Okay, and in this scheme what I'll be considering is, let me type it out here first, that our head of our linked list, which we initially considered as head, will now be acting as the front of my queue, you can say, and the rear will be the tail of the linked list. Okay, so this is like the scheme will be following. So initially our head is null. Now if you want to push any element, okay, so like that element would be the rear and the front at the same time, because that is the only node present in the, you can say, linked list or queue, whatever. Basically it is a queue. So like if I want to push 10 at first, okay, so what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a new node, and in its next I'll be putting null. So now this is my head, okay. Before my head was null, now my head is this 10 valued node, and this is the front also, and this is the rear also, you can say. Okay, till now I think it is fine. Now again I want to push 20, and we know that we push things from the rear side, okay. So now 20 will be pushed from here. Okay, I think there is a, yeah, oh sorry, I think, yeah, like our head will be here, and yeah, sorry, just let me change this. Yeah. So our head will be this rear part, okay. Okay, you can do like both ways, okay. I wanted to keep head of this because it will be easy for me to obtain the front value, because I just have to write the heads data, okay. So like you can do both ways, but we started this way, so let it be. So now our head will be this part, rear, and f will be this, okay. You can say like this, and again like you can like go for operations also. And whenever, let's say our queue is looking like this at some point, and we want to pop, okay, so how will we performing pop operation? We will be traversing, we'll start traversing from head, and we will look for, if like uh, if some nodes next is null, okay, like this is the node, okay. So this node we want to delete, no. So we have already like discussed in linked list how to delete the tail node, isn't it? Like how to delete tail node of any linked list, this we have already discussed, so the question is just the same, okay. And yeah, yeah, so I think it is clear now how to make that thing work, okay. So you guys can like go for it, make a code for it. So one like more question I want to discuss is, I think that is on HackerRank. Yeah, so this was the question, okay. Queue using two stacks, okay. Yeah. So basically what this question says is you need to perform three operations like in perform with queues. One is push operation, another is like pop operation, and the third one I think is print the element in the front of queue. Yeah, so front, okay. So we need to perform this like three operations. So like how we'll be doing this is, I will be taking two stats, okay. Yeah. So we can like perform like make more operations, okay, like is empty and what are there. So like we can do like everything, but what the problem with this method is that this method takes actually more time, okay. That will be seeing how is it working. So like if we wanted to make like first we wanted to push 10 in here, okay. So what we'll be doing is, let's say this is stack A, okay, let's just name these A and B. So we'll be pushing element 10 into the A, okay. If like both are empty, then we push in simply. Now it isn't empty, okay. So what we are like in this scheme, what we'll be following, try to follow is like this element is our rear end, and this element at the top of this same A is our so this at this top of this A stack is front and the bottom of this A stack is rear end. Okay, so we'll be pushing from the rear end. So how I'll do this is we will empty this whole A into this B. Okay, until this A becomes empty, we'll be pushing every element into B. So in this we have like this one element, so we'll be pushing 10 here, and now A has become empty, so now we will push 20. So this operation is also done, and after that we'll be emptying whole B into A once again. Now our stack looks like this, and if we want to print the front element, what we'll do is we'll print the top of the stack. Okay, so yeah, like this thing is easy. So again, if we want to like do this, we want to like push 30 now. So what we'll be doing is popping 10 and putting it here, popping 20, putting in here. Okay, now A has become empty. Now we can push 13 here. So we'll be pushing 30, and until B becomes empty, we will like again put all the elements of B into A. Oh, sorry. So this is here 20, and then 10 here. Okay, so this way like you can perform this. Okay, and like keep doing. So this is the method, and like you can try solving this question on HackerRank, and also you can like try solving on Geeks for Geeks, and like these two platforms are like good. And mainly stacks and queues, what we'll be requiring for will be like studying trees and graphs. Basically graphs and trees will be like studied in a better way. And again, stacks can also be like used like stack has like you can say one algorithm is there which suits like the stack data structure, which works like runs perfectly with stack data structure. So this is like the basic aim, and I think this much information will be good to go with. So if you like guys have any doubt, you can write it out. And from me it is like till here only. Okay, or else I shall like end the meeting. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, so thank you guys. This is for today.